Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Chris Davis, and today we are going to talk about the January 6th committee. So, in particular, we're talking about the special Primetime they aired during this past week. I believe it was on a Thursday. In fact, it was. And I want to share my thoughts about it. Now, what happened in this hearing was you had Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson telling viewers about what happened January 6th, how it happened, and why. And they were really trying to get across that the riots happened because there were people who were upset about the results of the election, and Donald Trump emboldened them to go to Capitol Hill and cause an insurrection. And they delivered live testimony. They did recorded testimonies. They even had President Trump's daughter Ivanka do a testimony about it. I believe it's pre-recorded. And I watched it on C-SPAN, so I wouldn't hear any commentary or anything. But what I'm trying to get at is, what was the whole point of the whole committee hearing? What was the whole point about it? I mean, we already know about what happened, why it happened, and we may not know everything about how it happened, but we pretty much know the how it happened. Everything happened on live television as it was going on. We all saw it with our own eyes. President Trump made a speech saying how the election was stolen, and he emboldened the people to start the insurrection. And we saw what unfolded that day, unfortunately. So my thing is, we saw what happened. Why does this committee why do they think they need to do this special to tell us about what happened and how it happened? We already know. We already saw it live on television when it happened. So, get to the point. I believe the reason why they did this whole primetime January 6th committee hearing was they are trying to convince Trump supporters that the insurrection happened because Donald Trump was mad that he lost the election, and he emboldened and incited people to go to Capitol Hill and start a riot. That's why the insurrection happened. They want to make it clear that the election was not stolen from Donald Trump. He lost fair and square. That the insurrection was not right. It was wrong. The people who did it didn't have a right to do it at all. But definitely them going up there and saying the election was stolen from them, that's not true. The election was not stolen at all. So to me, the goal of this whole committee was trying to convince people who still believe that the insurrection was right because the election was stolen. It was trying to convince them that the insurrection was wrong and that the election was not stolen at all. And to me, with that as the goal, to me, that's just a waste of time and pointless. Look, any reasonable person can understand how and why that insurrection happened. It happened because some people didn't believe that the election was fair, and they believed everything former President Trump said about the election process, and then those people went up there to take matters into their own hands. Now, what I'm trying to get at is that the reason why airing this special is so pointless is because it's not as if the people who followed Trump, they're all ignorant and they all actually believe that the election was stolen. That's not the case. Some of them know that the election was fair and square. Some of them know that. They did it because they want to support him because he believes like what they believe. So like they don't care about like whether the election was fair or not. They just don't want to see him removed from power. So they went up there to do the insurrection. So there would be no transference of power. So the committee trying to convince these people that there was no voter fraud, that the election was fair and stuff, trying to convince them, it's a waste of time because maybe some of them don't know that, but pretty much most of them know that the election was fair. They just didn't want to see their president go. And so that's why they did the insurrection. So my whole thing is that this whole committee thing, airing it, was pointless, and it was for politics, because we live like in a world now where misinformation and fake news, it's spreading, but the other issue is you have people who believe what they want to believe. So you could air this special and you can tell people what actually happened, but they're not going to believe you because they're just going to spin it into their own narrative. So to me, it's kind of pointless. And I know I'm being redundant and repetitive, but I'm trying to drive this whole point that the airing on Thursday for the January 6th committee, it was just political, and while it added some more context, its goal was trying to convince people who most likely aren't going to listen anyway. So to me, the whole thing was pointless. Like, why would you even air it? Because they believe what they want to believe anyway. You could tell them the truth about what happened, but they don't care because the world we live in now, people are only going to listen to whatever reinforces their beliefs. Not all people, but you still have enough people who are like that, and it causes some serious trouble. So maybe if they gave us more like new information and stuff about I'm not sure. Like if they were like things planned far ahead of time, which I think they did, that would have been enlightening. But really, most of it was just giving context of the day about what happened, and they had some Capitol Hill security talk about what happened, and I'm sorry about what they went through and stuff. But I have to really emphasize that the whole airing this past Thursday was pointless because their goal was trying to convince Trump supporters or far-right supporters that the insurrection was wrong and the election wasn't stolen. And you just have people these days that are only going to believe what they want to believe. So to me, it was just an entire waste of time. So that's all we have for today. If you liked what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with all your friends, and all of you have a great day.